him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-macabre, it's time for the only news that matters. And Skid Row played a few shows already with Hailstorm's Lzzy Hale on vocals. And they stuck mainly to the first two albums. You know, and if Hale was feeling nervous or uncertain about the cold open with the Rockers, she didn't show it. She strutted across the stage, playing off both her bandmates and the audience, and nailed Sebastian Bach's piercing high notes with ease. Hailstorm guitarist Joe also joined the band on the set for Youth Gone Wild. Now, I watched the footage, and honestly, I'm a big fan of Eric Grönwall, and I was like, man, they just got rid of their best singer. I watched some of this footage of Lzzy Hale, and she was fucking awesome. I gotta say, I was thoroughly impressed. I don't think she's as good as a singer as Eric Grönwall. I know many would disagree with me, but that's just my opinion. She's definitely better than Sebastian Bach now, and she does have way better stage presence than Eric Grönwall. I'll give her that. Eric was kind of goofy on stage with his little headbanging and stuff. It just didn't seem right, but his voice made weight up for it. And I'm going to play you now a couple clips of all three singers hitting that high note and living in a chain gang. First, Sebastian Bach, where he doesn't even attempt to hit the high note. Now here's Eric Grönwall crushing it. Now the final clip of Lzzy Hale doing it, and she does a damn good job. Slightly raspy, but damn kick-ass. But Eric was more clean. He had much clean vocals, and I saw her doing Quicksand Jesus, which was great. And I remember I watched several clips of Lzzy, and I thought, damn, this girl's perfect for the band. Way better than Sebastian. Vocally, not as good as Eric Grönwall, in my opinion, but she still can hit the notes, and she's got better stage presence. And yes, I'm not bashing her singing whatsoever. She's awesome. She is awesome. And yes, the same, I've done reports on this, Sebastian saying he's going to join Skid Row again, but this one's extra funny. I'll show you the funny part coming up. Sebastian has renewed optimism regarding a reunion with his former band Skid Row. The singer famously split from the band in 1996 with a profanity-laced tirade, proving to be the final straw. Bach has previously expressed interest in a reunion, but has routinely been rebuffed by his former bandmates. And during an appearance on Eddie Trunk's show, the singer explained why his outlook has changed. He said, I found out something at the very last Kiss show that I did not know before the very last Kiss show. And it's a major piece of miscommunication. I need to communicate with Skid Row because there's been something that happened that is not accurate. I can't tell you what it is, but the whole narrative of they don't like me and I'm too crazy is complete BS. It's not true. There's been attempts to get us going again. I can tell the world that there's a good chance that'll happen because there's no fucking reason not to. Because right now, why it hasn't happened is a miscommunication. That's all I can say. There's a miscommunication. Bach, who recently released his solo album, Child Within a Man, has a solo tour scheduled through the end of July. Meanwhile, Skid Row parted ways with their singer Eric Gronwall earlier this year, and Hailstorm's Lzzy Hale will front the band for a handful of shows beginning May 17th. Though Bach appeared confident about a reunion with his former band, he admits he had to handle the situation carefully. He said, "I need to write a thoughtful email clearing up my miscommunication, but I have to make sure it's the perfect email and I don't say anything wrong or make any jokes. I just don't have the energy to do it right now, but I know I need to do that. I've just got a lot on my plate right now." Elsewhere in the interview, this is the funny part, Bach admitted that he has dreams about Skid Row's reunion where there's no fighting or drama. Still, he subconsciously isn't always positive about the idea. He said, "I have a reoccurring nightmare where Skid Row reunites and I go to the gig and I forget my in-ears. I'm backstage and the whole arena's packed. And Rachel and Snake, go, fuck, you guys, fuck. I gotta get back to the hotel. I forgot my fucking in-ears. And I'm in the Uber and I'm fucking racing and the whole reunion's happening. And I gotta get my fucking in-ears and I can't get to the hotel. And I can't get the hotel key. So let's analyze that. Let's analyze that shit right there that goes on in my head. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's analyze that, okay? He's having dreams that Skid Row reunites, right? To a packed arena. This guy is so disillusioned. That's why this whole thing is, he's going to sit down and do a thorough email thinking that it's going to work, that he's going to write something where the other Skid Row guys will be like, "Hey, you know what? Let's get this pain in the ass back in the band. I miss the drama. I miss all the headaches he gave me." This guy is so disillusioned. Sebastian Bach, if you're listening right now, your new album's half-assed, but it's got some good songs. You're not going to reunite with Skid Row. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you this right now. There's no way this band's going to take them back. I don't care how good your email is, okay? But let's just say, for the sake of supposing, that you write the greatest email ever that will convince them that to bring you back in the band. Do you really think, well, I know you think that, but reality check. You're not going to be selling out arenas with a reunion of Skid Row. It's just not going to happen, okay? Even when you were at your biggest, you weren't selling out arenas. You just wasn't. To me, here in South Florida, they played Sunrise Musical Theater on Slave to the Grind. That was them at their biggest. I guess the debut album was, them at their biggest, but they were pretty much an opening act, and when they did headline, they played clubs. But, Slave to the Grind was a #1 album, but they lost a lot of chicks. A lot of chicks did not like that. They wanted 18 in Life and I Remember You, not Quicksand Jesus and Riot Act. So they kind of right there, they were losing a fan base. Now, I do understand they did play arenas on that tour, but I don't think they were sold out. They weren't sold out shows. When they played Sunrise Musical Theater down here, that's not an arena, though they did play 2 nights. And as I recall, the one night I went, it wasn't sold out. And that's not an arena. It's a smaller, I don't know how to say, maybe 3, 4, maybe 5,000, I'm being a little modest, can fit in that place. And it wasn't sold out. And I was there, man, and I never seen, and let me tell you, Skid Row was great. I'm not saying they were bad that night. They were great, but I never saw a band get so owned by the opening act that night. Pantera destroyed Skid Row badly. Skid Row came out and they were great. But I'll tell you, one thing that I really noticed about that show was it was Sebastian Bach. It wasn't, nobody cared for Skid Row. Everybody cared for Sebastian Bach. And I'll never forget one part of the show was Snake was out there alone doing the intro to Wasted Time. And it was pretty long. It was a little drawn out. Him going off on the guitar, this and that, you know. And then Sebastian comes out, you know, behind him, clapping his hands. The whole place went batshit for Sebastian Bach. They didn't really care for the other members of Skid Row. And I know that resonates with the band still. I mean, back then, Sebastian Bach even admitted it, that the band would get pissed off that Sebastian would get all the attention. And now that Skid Row can go out there and play the same venues they can with Sebastian Bach if they were to reunite with him, but without Sebastian Bach, is very appealing to them. And I know recently, I think it was Rachel Bolan said, "Oh, everybody's psyched about Lzzy Hale, you know, in Skid Row, doing these shows." Hey, man, they probably are. I'm not a fan. I mean, I know she's a good singer, but I don't like Hailstorm. I heard her do Slave to the Grind, and I didn't like it. So, to me, I'm super bummed Eric Gronwald is gone, because to me, I think he's better than Sebastian. I think he was the best singer they ever had, and it's a bummer that his health forced him out of the band. Now, I remember when Sebastian Bach first started his solo career with Bring 'Em Bach Alive, that live album, that he was really against the Skid Row reunion, because in his mind, he thought his solo career was going to take off. That he didn't need Skid Row. Honestly, he is the star of Skid Row, so I can see him thinking that I'm going to be a big solo act and I don't need these Skid Row guys. And he would say in interviews back then, I don't want to be in Skid Row. But then when his incredible album, Angel Down, came out and didn't do much, and that album is awesome, that it was a reality check for him. He was like, whoa, I just made this kick-ass album with Axl Rose doing some guest appearances on it, and nobody's heard Axl Rose on a recording since, the 10 years or so before that, because Chinese Democracy wasn't out yet. And it still really didn't do much, which is a shame, because I love Angel Down. I think it's the best solo album he's ever done. But after that reality check, he was like, oh man, I need to get back in Skid Row. So he's been begging ever since. And the band is like, and I've said it before, they don't want him back because Snake's got depression issues, he's got mental issues, and to have Sebastian Bach around him would be extremely unhealthy. So he's really thinking of that. If Sebastian Bach was a really cool dude and wouldn't give no drama and just be an awesome team player, they would take him back. I'm sure of it. So what does Sebastian Bach do after he talks about he's going to send him an email? Well, he goes up on stage in New York on Thursday, and he says, we got 4 cities and 4 nights. It's not for the fucking pussies out there, I'll tell you that. Ask anybody who ever tried to fucking replace me. It's so funny what I read online. Skid Row are on their 4th singer. They're on their fucking 9th singer. And I can name every one of them. It's like, Google that shit. It's not number 4. Lzzy Hale is number 9. Which is a little far-fetched. Actually, if you want to get technical, it's 7. Matt Fallon, Sebastian Bach, Johnny Solinger, Tony Arnell, Z.P. Thorpe, Eric Gronwald, and Lzzy Hale. That's 7. But if we really want to get into who's their singer, you got to judge it by who sang on their albums. And it's only 3 of them. Sebastian, Johnny Solinger, and Eric Gronwald. Sebastian Bach is the reason Sebastian Bach is not in Skid Row. Anyway, that's it for the only news that matters. Thank you so much for watching. You all rock, man. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. And what do you think in the comments below? Do you think a Skid Row reunion is actually going to happen? I don't think so, but hey, I could be wrong. And you could be right if you think it will. So, hey, let's see what happens. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. Did I tell you please subscribe to my channel if you haven't? Please do that. I would really appreciate that. And stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack
to
them
you
a
fair
gob.
Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.